Arrival. Horseplay is for horses. This is a safety moment by camp security. Sometimes holding a double major is killer. The logging road is the tongue of a coyote, empress of rushes. On the shoulder, black ants lick deep into her body. Crew lead says, "I was here before all this." And you hit deforestation that isn't blight or bruise, just an apiary after swarm. And you exhale as if the metaphors or machinery of your breathing, which continues, matters. A pine marten scattered across the road, yesterday's gibbets. Ravens scoot to the corpse and gobble choice bits before gusting away, allowing your F-150 EcoBoost declination. Even the wildlife understands dispossession. You grind through the wake because you got four-wheel drive and into the dry gravel lot. Ravens skirt camp trailers as you bear possessions into rooms that aren't yours. Check the box that swears you understand the rules, and eat later in a hushed ventriloquency who don't know what may not be said. By morning, ravens have shat all over the rental truck. An hour to dig site, and already day one. You're mucked in the muskeg with horse flies horsing about your flesh. There is nothing horse here, except your engines, your shovels, your boots, bucking into eskers like spines. And the 10,000-year stratigraphy holds not enough datable bone, no transition, no hearths. How you understand the dispossessed now. In the bush so long, there is no expedition from perdition except calls home. Your phone is static detachment from the voice you need, cutting in and out. Their face lays pictured next to you each empty sleep in the long, bright nights. Distance is a mantra, and it says, this is not everything. But you are here, and this is not your room. Thank you. Omens. Lightning. All the day's heat parched the earth. We drove home through the browned stalks of rushes. My tanning hide stretches beneath the sun. I cannot wring water from my hair, fearing the helix will prove false, or speak of an old people so homozygous we could hate them too. Rain like lithics, chert, quartzite, flint, a scraper, a blade. Bipedality preceded encephalization, and the first copper ingot falls heavy as moose hooves. Bronze and iron, the age after steel now, and my shovel moans, bucked through roots thick as a 6-year-old's thigh, bearing the earth on its mechanical grace. There is rain. Sometimes I think there is meaning in people. All night, thunder, the clash of two rocks underwater. I am often wrong. All right. I don't actually know where everything is because it's organized differently than I organized it. So I'm a little bit lost sometimes in the book, which is kind of a neat feeling. I find things that I've forgotten I've done. Kid Grendel on summer vacation. So much ash in the sky from the week's slash burning that the days are an imposition. Across the lake, the blackened forest is askew, as if giants had hiked the mountain and hammered each sapling in, one by bloody one. The boy is no giant, bronze body almost mummified by the sun. He may never be a man. It's hard to know. And what, even, does that mean? Maybe just a boy who hasn't tasted another and is taught that this is a shame he must rectify. A slingshot boy who breaks every faceted image of himself in bottles, cast from the porch before night loses gravity and disperses. He's just tall enough to have his bones shunted into the earth, flesh cremated like the forest, and tilled into field to fertilize something useful. Peppers, flax, the hemispheres of apples grown slip-knotted. What little he is, burnt away like a comet hauled into the sun. Every morning he attends school, regurgitating mostly irrelevant skills while sitting in the desks where they carve names, curses, the stories they should not know about each other, because they do not realize how simply persecution begins. Perhaps he will reforest the clear cuts where giants plant saplings as if each tree were a skeleton, fractured by the expectations their forebears knot into their upbringing, like stones to a body, and the body cast into the lake. Everyone needs gravity, the kid knows. Some small arson to cleanse all the bullshit he is told, as if he won't understand, won't listen in the lurk at the top of the stairs, won't hide his passage by mapping each floorboard creak, as if he won't evolve from his own monstrosity. I'm doing this right. Thank you.
Sure.
Sacrilege is an artifact. We say nothing, emptied by the square meters we've dug, laid in what shade there is to find. Thrice daily we break fast, like all the people like us who have seen as we see, and who doesn't consume as we do. We are here for work, yes, but old stories utter mythos still, and when we leave, there will be no metaphors, only who will walk across the land we abandoned and dig, and who doesn't remember as we do. These lives are bitter nettles beneath the tongue. Buried beneath our vocalizations is the only pit we don't know how to excavate. Must we define ourselves by what we leave behind? I haven't actually read this poem yet. It comes from things that I heard while a child in Winnipeg, and I thought about it for a while, listening to the news and other things, and I realized that all of the people that could have been part of the contents of the poem are people who could have gone to my school, and that's where the poem came from. So I'm actually kind of curious to hear your thoughts on it later. It's a first go. All the others. The old neighborhood is nearly unrecognizable. Remember the lilacs and honeysuckle, those living great walls delineating one community from the next. Even through the barbs and bark you played. Remember Foursquare, tetherball, hide and seek. Games were always ritual, hazing, rite of passage. When these hedges bloomed, they bloomed on skin, shy until blood left the bruise, because it was a boy's world. Wearing jeans was neither hiding your vagina nor being ashamed of it. You saved many skirts, knowing the time and place for delicate lace and when to bear denim into the rip and rip of bodies earwigging in the brush and bushes and muddy riverbank. The slow prairie circulation. They said girls were thrown in the brown waters and never found. How could people be lost in the river? Is it not only so deep? The bruises never ended. It was a boy's world still. But why would they weep when you pushed harder than they, playing their own games meant to humiliate, toughen, crook into man? There were girls in lace, preserved in the river's clay. The boys could never understand, and you pitied them. Again, you have petitioned the powers that be, the pitiful boys in their frigid offices, to stand and conserve this new species, quickly reinvigorating the current. This spring, you walked the river path, the old neighborhood nearly recognizable, the lilacs grown viciously thick. Drowned bruises bloom behind rapids where current separates over rock. There are no lace-white justifications that may hide or disseminate the trespasses wrought against them. Again, you have been refused your right to find your own sister and all the others. Silky. Do you know what a Silky is?
Nope.
It was a mythological figure. It was a person who wears the skin of a seal and can take it off and walk on land as a human. I know, weird shit. Silky. 3 seals on rock and spur. They bathe, and you will not wake in distress. Your feet still cool from ocean. Walking through flowers and grasses which survive their domestication, rise from the earth. Because nativity is a wild beauty, and no beauty should be routine. Your roots need not be stripped white, axed apart, and fashioned into prosthetics. And this is the risk: dismembering your own intellect free of the pogrom, and ignore the garden your roots desperately grapple together. Wear your new skin and swim out to join the seals. Despite the shelters you abandon yourself to, evolution is a caress you may not choose to deny. I think I'm going to do one more. No, I will do one more.
Yeah, go ahead, do one more.
All right. Last test. We could arrange ourselves like soldiers, maybe to spare a red line deeply, and never see a space or break or glimpse the formation boundary. Don't tell me I am wrong. I've burned too many shallow days. This morning, a coyote, empress of rushes, smote on the highway, her blood gritly iced on snow. Still, before the sun below zero horizon, I wanted to climb into her jaw, crawl the cartilage-ribbed throat, and den into the left ventricle. My strengths don't diminish yours. In this darkness, not even sun may bridge fur and skin or the thick-walled muscles of the heart. Here, I'd sleep the sleep of Atlas, were he able to lower the skies to his knees and cool his sweat furnace brow against one or another prevailing wind. Are the many ages of glaciers strong enough? For each other can we be enough to bear our dreams, however thin, in the crevasses of our skull? Is it too much being our own independence? But glaciers are calving with each step, brightly into the oceans. I can do nothing about it. Little bee, is this too your life? When the formation recuperates and our refugee road freezes again in the night, we may hold each other thickly, seeing with the seeing we relearn by touch. Thank you very much.